Hello students, welcome to biology class. So today we're going to start a new chapter, environment issue. So far we were discussing about organism and population, ecosystem and biodiversity. So in that lesson we were discussed about what is environment and how we can conserve the environment and all. We will be studying on that. But in this chapter we will be going to study all the environmental issue. See, these issues is caused only by the top ranking animal is that Homo sapien, that is us. So our responsibility to recover the earth from all these problems. Okay, so how these problems get started and what are the causes and how we can able to control it. So that we're going to discuss in this chapter in detail. Students, see in this chapter, environmental issues. So these are the environmental issues we're going to discuss in this chapter. So see, the first one is pollution. So what is pollution? Any undesirable changes happen in the environment is called pollution. So how many types of pollution we're going to discuss in this chapter? Air pollution, water pollution, noise pollution, soil pollution and radioactive pollution. So these are the pollution we're going to discuss under the environmental issues. Okay, and next is about the greenhouse effect, and next is global warming, and next is ozone depletion, and last one will be the degradation of improper resource utilization and management, and under that we will be going to discuss soil erosion and the desertification, and next one will be the water logging and soil salinity. At last, okay, the major issue will be the deforestation. So all these all these problems will be faced by our Mother Earth only because of these deforestation. To get rid of all the problems, we need only one solution. We have only one solution. That is, the solution is about reforestation. So all we're going to discuss under this chapter. See here, with increase in human population, demand for food, shelter, water, electricity, roads and automobiles are increasingly rapidly. Okay, and these exerting the pressures on environment and altering the natural health of the ecosystem. So it started completely affect the ecosystem. All across the world, people are facing a wealth of new and challenging environmental problems every day. Some of them are pollution, greenhouse effect, ozone depletion, deforestation, etc. So the first we're going to discuss about the pollution. What is this pollution? Pollution is undesirable change in the physical, chemical or biological properties of any pollutant. Okay, so that is called pollution. See, what is pollutant? The agent which cause the undesirable change to the environment is called pollutant. So now we're going to discuss about air pollution. Okay, so in the pollution we're going to discuss the first type, that is the air pollution. So air is essential for respiration in all living organism. So the pollutant reduce growth and the production of crop as well as the premature death of the plant. The harmful effect of the pollution on all the living organism depends upon the concentration of the pollutant, duration of the exposure and organism involved in that. Okay, so what is air pollution? Any undesirable change in the physical, chemical and biological characteristic of air that exert adverse effect on human being is defined as air pollution. Now we're going to discuss about the causes for the air pollution. So the smoke from the forest fire, volcanic eruption, etc. Next point is about decomposition of garbage resulting in release of unwanted gases in the atmosphere. And next one is uses of leaded petrol, gaseous waste, etc. Okay, and the particulate by the product of the various industries will be referred to the gaseous waste. And burning of fossil fuels in the automobile and industries release the particulate and the air pollutant. Okay, the best example I was giving you for the causes of pollution is, so when the Diwali time came, what happens? So there will be like burning lot of crackers, yes or no? So that will be the major cause for the air pollution. So small difference will be shows different changes in the environment. So that will be also the act of the air pollution. It is one of the act to be done in the air pollution. The causes is also the crackers. So next is we're going to discuss about the air pollutant. So in the air pollution, next we're going to discuss about the air pollutant. So these air pollutant are of two types. One is the particulate pollutant and other one is the gaseous pollutant. So what are the example for the particulate pollutant and what will be the example for the gaseous pollutant we're going to discuss now. See, particulate pollutant as example will be metallic particles, dust particles, aerosol and smoke. Okay, so these all represent the particulate pollutant. And in this gaseous pollutant, example, carbon monoxide, nitrogen dioxide, hydrogen sulfide, sulfur dioxide, etc. So actually what these gases, okay, so how these gases will be causes the pollutant. So now we're going to be discuss the health hazards with the help of these gases. Okay, see the harmful effect when these gases, for these gases. So they are, see the symptoms like the giddiness, headache, decreased vision, cardiovascular malfunction will be done by the carbon monoxide gas. And next one is hydrogen sulfide. See, hydrogen sulfide is nausea, high and throat irritation. And next one is sulfur dioxide. So respiratory tract disease like asthma, bronchitis, and it leads to the disease called cancer too. So all these comes under the gaseous pollutant. Okay, so this will be the harmful effect which is caused by the gaseous pollutant. And you kindly see this plants. Okay, so the plants, when it affect all these air pollutant will be affect the plant. So there will be like reduced growth and yield and lead to the premature death of the plant. So that's all about the air pollutants. Okay, so I repeat, air pollutants are of two types. One is the particulate pollutant and other one is gaseous pollutant. So in this gaseous pollutant, so these four gases plays a major role: carbon monoxide, nitrogen dioxide, hydrogen sulfide and sulfur dioxide. So these are the four gases which causes the health hazards like giddiness, headache, decreased vision, cardiovascular malfunction, nausea, eye, throat irritation, respiratory tract disease like asthma, bronchitis and cancer. So these are the symptoms when the gaseous pollutant will be affected the human beings or animals. Next we're going to discuss about control methods of air pollution. Okay, see, the thermal power plants, smelter and other industries release the particulate and gaseous air pollutant along with the harmless gases such as nitrogen, oxygen, etc. So these pollutants should be filtered out before releasing the harmless gases into the atmosphere. So there are many methods to follow to control the measure of air pollutant. So one, we're going to study in detail about the electrostatic precipitator. Okay, in short, we will be calling that as the ESP. So why we're using to remove the particulate matter. So this electrostatic precipitator can remove over 99% of particulate matter present in the exhaust from thermal power plant. It has the electrode wires that are maintained at several thousand volts to produce corona that release electrons. So this will be the discharge electrons. So these electrons attach to the dust particles, okay, giving them a net negative charge. So this will be the negatively charged particles. So the collecting plates are grounded, okay, so these are the collecting plates are grounded and attract the charged dust particle to that where it enters the clean air can pass through the electrostatic precipitator. So next you can see about the scrubber. Scrubber can remove the gases like sulfur dioxide. So the exhaust is passed through the spray of water or lime. So for according to the CPCB, okay, the Central Pollution Control Board, particulate size less than 2.5 micrometers or less in diameter. So this will be the size will be given to the according to the Central Pollution Control Board. So where causes the greatest harm to the human health. So how does it affect? See, these fine particles can be inhaled deep into the lungs and can cause breathing, respiratory symptoms, irritation, inflammation, and at last what happened? Automatically it will be damaging the lung and premature death. So automobile are one of the main cause of this atmospheric pollution in the metro cities. So the proper maintenance of the automobiles along with the use of lead-free petrol or diesel can reduce the pollutant they emit. So next is about the catalytic converter contains the platinum, palladium and rhodium as the catalyst are fitted into the automobiles for reducing the emission of poisonous gases. Okay, so as the exhaust passes through the catalytic converter, the unbound hydrogen carbons, okay, will be converted that into the carbon monoxide and nitric oxide are changed to carbon dioxide and nitrogen gas. So the vehicle which is fitted with the catalytic converter should use the unleaded petrol because lead in the petrol inactivates the catalyst. Okay, so that's all about the catalytic converters. Next, we're going to discuss about the water pollution and its control. See, the water bodies are lifeline of human beings as well as the other animal. So, due to the disposal of all the kinds of waste and other anthropogenic actions, the pond, lake, stream, river, estuaries and oceans are becoming polluted in several parts of the world. So, the government of India has passed the Water, that is the Prevention and Control of Pollution Act in 1974 to protect the water resources. So now we're going to study about the sources of the water pollutant. So the sources of the water pollutant are divided into three types. One is the domestic sewage, agricultural runoff, and next one is industrial waste. And now these domestic sewage are divided into suspended solid, colloidal material, dissolved materials. And next, agricultural runoff. Again, it's divided into the two types. They are the fertilizer residue and the pesticide residue. And next, we move on to the industrial waste. So, industrial waste are of two types. One is the chemical pollutant and other one is the physical pollutant. So, when you take the chemical pollutant, so they are two types. One is organic compound, other one is inorganic compound. For the organic compounds, we're going to study about the phenol, dyes, etc. Inorganic compound, we're going to study about the heavy metals. And next, the last one will be the physical pollutant. So the physical pollutant involves the thermal waste of water plus oil spills. Okay, so these are the source of water pollutant. Now we're going to discuss detail about these. So here we're going to discuss about the domestic sewage. See, in domestic sewage, it includes everything that comes from the residential area to common public sewage system. So the domestic sewage contains the suspended solid, colloidal material, dissolved material. Okay, so now the suspended solid example, the sand, silt and clay. Colloidal material, fecal matter, bacteria, paper and cloth fiber. Dissolved material, nitrate, ammonia, phosphate, sodium, calcium, etc. So these are the domestic sewage, mainly contains the biodegradable organic waste which are readily decomposed with the help of the decomposer. So next we move on to the industrial waste. Say industrials like petroleum, paper manufacturing, metal extraction and processing etc. release the wastewater containing heavy metals like mercury and many other organic compounds into the water. So the mercury and DDT are well known for biological magnification. So what is biological magnification? Is otherwise known as biomagnification too. See, it is defined as increase in the concentration of toxicants at successive trophic levels. So the toxic substance cannot be metabolized or excreted. Therefore, they get accumulated in an organism and passed on to high level of the trophic levels. So that will be the effect of DDT accumulations. So now we're going to study one example of effects of DDT accumulation in birds. Calcium metabolism in bird is disturbed, which results in thinning of eggshell. So this leads to decline in bird population too. Some important terms to remember in this water pollution. Okay, so they are the eutrophication, BOD and algal bloom. So first we're going to discuss about the eutrophication. So what is this eutrophication? See, it is defined as the natural aging of lake by biological enrichment of its water. So the water in young lake is cold and clear to support the life. With time, it will be enriched with nutrient by streams draining into it. This encourages growth of aquatic life, plants and animal life too. So the organic remains deposited at the bottom of the lake, which makes the water warmer. Eventually, the floating plants develop into the lake, finally converting into the land. According to the climate, the size of lake and other factors, the natural aging of a lake may span thousands of years. Okay, it depends upon the climate. And the accelerated aging of lakes due to the sewage and agricultural and industrial waste is called cultural or accelerated eutrophication. Is very, very important 2 mark to be notified. Okay, so what is accelerated eutrophication? Accelerated aging of lakes due to sewage and agricultural and industrial waste are called cultural or accelerated eutrophication. That's all about the eutrophication. So next we move on to study about the BOD, biochemical oxygen demand. Okay, so what is this BOD? The amount of oxygen required for microbial breakdown of biodegradable organic matter is called BOD. So it is higher in polluted water and lesser in drinking water. For example, if you take the two sample of one sample will be you taken in the lake and other is the drinking water. So when you check the BOD level in that, so the drinking water will be have the less when you compare to the lake water. Okay, so based on this, see this diagram, graphical representation shows the effect of sewage discharge and some important characteristic of a river. So where, see here, the fish kills disappearance of clean water organism and it will be reappearance of the clean water organism. So this will be the direction flow will be done in this graphical representation to study the effect of sewage discharge and some important characteristic of a river. Next topic we're going to discuss about the algal bloom. Okay, so the domestic sewage contain the nutrients like the nitrogen and phosphorus which favor the excessive growth of the planktonic, that is the free floating called an algal bloom. So algal bloom causes a fish mortality and deterioration of the water quality. So here one of the best example is Eichhornia craspi for this algal bloom. So it is the world's most problematic aquatic weed. They are introduced into India for the beautiful flowers that have caused havoc by their excessive growth by causing block in our water bodies. So this is commonly called as terror of Bengal. Okay, so when it grows abundantly in eutrophic water bodies and it will be imbalance the water ecosystem. See, the presence of large amount of the organic nutrients in water causes the excessive growth of the planktonic is called algal bloom. So the best algal bloom will be like, example is Eichhornia craspi. So that is in commonly we will call it as a water hyacinth. Integrated wastewater treatment. In the town of Arcata, situated on the northern coast of California, an integrated wastewater treatment process was developed with the help of biologists from Humboldt State University. Actually, what is happening in this wastewater treatment? The cleaning occurs in two stages. One is the conventional sedimentation and other one is appropriate plants we will be using to clean the process. So first we're going to study about first process, that is conventional sedimentation, filtration and chlorine treatments are given in the first initial stage. The treated water still contain lot of heavy metal and other dangerous pollutant. So next we're going to follow the second stage, that is the appropriate plants, algae, fungi and bacteria were grown in marshland through which water was flowed. The various life forms neutralize, absorb and assimilate the pollutant and purify the water naturally. Ecosen, okay, so Ecosen toilet will be the best example for this. Ecosen toilet have been developed in area of Kerala and Sri Lanka for ecological sanitation. So what is the advantage of ecological sanitation? It is a practical, hygiene and efficient method of waste disposal. It is quite cost effective and the human excreta can be recycled into natural fertilizer to replace the chemical fertilizer. So that's all about integrated wastewater treatment. So next topic is about the solid waste. So these are discarded solid materials which are produced due to the various human activities. Okay, see the solid waste, already we have a lot of knowledge about these. So we can be able to segregate all the biodegradable, recyclable or non-biodegradable waste as a separate one. Solid waste can be the following type: municipal waste, industrial waste, hospital waste, and electronic waste. So what is municipal waste? The waste from homes, office, school, hospitals, etc. that are collected and disposed by the municipality, which generally consist of paper, leather, textile, rubber, glass, etc. So next one is about industrial waste. The waste like scrap, fly ash, etc. generated by the industries are known as industrial waste. And next one is hospital waste. So the term itself indicates, so what are all the materials used in the hospital as a waste, we will be collecting that. See, the hazardous waste containing disinfectant and other harmful chemicals generated by the hospital. And next one is electronic waste. So this is called e-waste. So these are the damaged electronic goods and irreparable computers. So next is method of solid waste disposal. How we can able to control these things with the help of the methods. First one is open burning. Okay, so open burning is nothing but the municipal waste is reduced by burning in open dump, but the unburned waste serves as a breeding ground for rats and flies. Next one is sanitary landfills. So the waste are dumped in a depression or trench after compactation and covered with dirt. But seepage of chemical from these landfills can pollute underground water resources. Next one is natural breakdown. So the biodegradable materials are kept in deep pits in the ground for natural breakdown. And next is about the recycling. We were using the e-waste to recycle it. E-waste can be recycled in specifically built factories or manually to recover the important metals. And last one is about incineration. So majority of e-waste generated in the developed world is exported to developing the world, whether they are incinerated. So what will be the remedy for plastic waste? Because it is a non-biodegradable. Yeah, so fine powder of recycled modified plastic is called polyblend. So polyblend has been mixed with bitumen to lay roads in the Bangalore. Polyblend enhance bitumen water repellent properties and help increase the life of road. So this will be the remedy for the plastic waste. Okay, so that's all about the solid waste. Students, in this video, we studied about the environmental issues. So what are all the environmental issues? And here, majorly, we will be discussed more about the pollutions. So what is pollution? Any undesirable change in the environment which causes the pollution. Yes. So what are the types of pollution? Air pollution, water pollution and all we will be discussed here. And we more discussed about the solid waste management and all. Thank you.